Hi, welcome to everyone.dance. I'm Step on it. Everyone.dance is a real-time score-sharing platform for Stepmania. Using this, you can play together with your friends even if you aren't together. Let's get started. First, go to everyone.dance in your browser. Don't worry, this is a valid URL even though it might not look like one. And once you're there, you can hit the download button. You'll need to download the everyone.dance client in order to sync your scores from Stepmania. Once you've got it downloaded, let's go ahead and open it up in the folder. It's going to come as a zip file, so let's right-click it and extract files. Once that's done, you're going to need to navigate inside of it, possibly a couple times, until you see the everyone.dance executable. This might look a little bit different on different platforms, but on Windows it'll be everyone.dance.exe. Double click that to run it. And we can close this file browser now. And now that we've got our client open, we can see a couple different options from the website. Instead of spectating, we can join, and we can also create a game and install it. Installing is the first step in getting this to work. Without installing this, your scores will not sync to everyone.dance from Stepmania. So installing it installs just a simple script to your Stepmania, and everyone.dance reads that information from the script. So let's go ahead and install it. First, we're going to need to select our Stepmania folder. This is the folder where Stepmania is with all of this stuff right here. As you can see, announcers, background effects, all this stuff. And you want it to have access to the themes folder here because we're going to install it to a specific theme. So in the case of Stepmania 5.3, you're going to need to navigate into Appearance instead of just the Stepmania 5. And that's because Appearance contains the themes folder. So this looks good. We can hit select folder. That was weird. And now you can see we have it selected, and it should show up with all of your themes here. If you don't see all of your installed themes here, something went wrong and you should try to select your Stepmania folder again. Now you should select the theme that you use. For me, I like to use Starlight, but you can also use Simply Love or any of the other supported themes. If you're wondering what themes are supported, you can navigate to the GitHub and look at the list. So if we go to everyone.dance and click GitHub, it'll open the GitHub, which is where all of the code is hosted, since this is an open source project. If you scroll down a little bit past all of these, you can see supported themes. And these are all the themes that have been tested and verified to work. Some other themes might work or might not work, but if you'd like support for a theme that isn't currently supported, let me know. But back to everyone.dance. First, you'll want to click on your theme and it should look something like this. Status not installed, version nothing, or the latest is the latest version. For me it's 2.0.0. And then sync interval. Sync interval is an important point in this. And sync interval is basically how fast Stepmania is going to sync the scores to everyone.dance. So if I put this at a lower interval, like 100 milliseconds, every 100 milliseconds, it's going to sync the scores to everyone.dance. So that's great when you want your scores to be synchronized super quickly and shared almost instantly with everyone else in the room. But in case you have a slower PC or something that doesn't support a slower or a faster sync interval, you might want to increase this to maybe 2000 milliseconds. So only every 2 seconds your scores will be synced, and therefore it'll be a lot less load on your computer when it's writing to the files. So in my case, I'm going to just go with 400 milliseconds. Hit install, and after you install it, you should see a nice check mark, installed, version 2.0.0, and you'll see the sync interval where you installed it. And after this, we can go back. And now let's go ahead and open up Stepmania. If you already have Stepmania open and you just installed it, you'll want to close Stepmania and then reopen Stepmania again. This will ensure that Stepmania reads the new scripts that we just loaded into the game. Otherwise, it might not work. So here we are in Stepmania, and now, with our script loaded, we can go ahead and hit create a game in everyone.dance. This creates a game room, which is your private space for syncing scores and playing with whoever else you want to. So in Stepmania, let's go ahead and navigate to a song just to show you what it looks like. And let's say we navigate to Head Grinder. As you can see, everyone.dance is currently showing the song that I have selected in the song select. So you can see the title, artist, step artist, folder, and then the current difficulty I have selected. So as I go through the different songs and I tab back, you can see it's updating in real time. And this is synced with everyone else in the game room. So if you want someone else to be able to join the game room and watch you play or play along, you can click the game code to copy it. See, the game code is BKPY. And then they can join it through their own everyone.dance client if they want to play with you. Or if they don't have everyone.dance, they can simply spectate you without needing to install anything. As you can see, I'm on everyone.dance. If I just paste the game code in, hit go, and now I can see all of the sync scores and all of the songs that I'm on. So if I switch the song, Act Beloved, you can see it updates in the web view as well. And let's go ahead and play it and see what happens. So once we start playing the song, you're going to see that this is going to update just a little bit differently. Once we're in game, it's going to show all of the different scores of each of the different judgments. It'll show the progress bar of how complete the song is. So once the song is over, it'll be all the way to the right side, and the percentage score, that's your current score in that song. So if we start hitting a few of these notes, just to see what it looks like, you can see that the score did go up a little bit, and all of these other note scores also went up. So this is a great way to see people's scores in real time. And if we go to the web client, you can see it's also synced here. As the misses go up, because I'm not hitting any notes, it's synced and this progress bar is still increasing. And now let's dive a little bit more advanced into some of the newer settings that I've added in version 2.0.0 of everyone.dance. There's this little settings icon right here. If you click that, you'll see that there's a bunch of different settings for your game room so you can customize it to your needs. For example, you can toggle whether the game code is showed. So in case you don't want to show it on stream, you can simply toggle that. Allow to spectators and allow players. This will change whether you allow spectators and players into your game. A player is someone who is actively playing the game, such as me right here, step on it, but as you can see, there's no spectator here because the spectator player 98 is just in the web view. This is the web view icon right here. And so if we turn allow spectators off and we try to rejoin through the web view, you'll see that I can't join. Fail to join game room, spectators not allowed. So this is a great way to limit people from joining your game room, but if they're already in, so let's join it with spectators on, and we disallow players, then players who are already in the game room who want to stop spectating, they won't be able to. So this little green button right here, this will appear next to anyone who's using the everyone.dance client instead of the web view. This is whether they're playing or spectating. So if I click this, now I'm spectating. You can see 0 players, there's no one playing here. And if I click it again, now I'm playing. And so the host of the game room can toggle that for anyone and bypass all of these settings. Otherwise, if you're just a normal player in the room, you'll only be able to change your own status of whether you're spectating or playing based on these settings. So if players aren't allowed and you try to toggle it from spectating to playing, it won't work. There's also a couple other settings here, such as player limit. You can limit how many players you want in the game room. So increase that, or no player limit, so you can have as many players as you want. You can have rank players, which will put a numerical ranking next to each of the players who are currently playing in the game room. This is great for showing who is in first place, second place, third place, and so on, in case of competitions or tournaments. Toggling on ITG mode will switch it from DDR mode to ITG mode, specifically for all the judgments. As you can see right now, it's marvelous, perfect, great, good, miss, okay, and not good. And if we click ITG mode on, you can see a lot of the names of the judgments changed and one new judgment was added, the way off. And so for ITG players, this is a great option for showing those judgments that you're used to seeing. Version check is another check just to make sure that everyone in the game room has the latest version of everyone.dance. Keep in mind that toggling this on will kick even the host if the host does not have the latest version of everyone.dance. And the last thing that we're going to show is the sync mode right here. Sync mode is how the scores are synced when all the players send in their scores from Stepmania. By default, it's real time, meaning that as you play the game, your scores are instantly synced with the server and everyone else in the game room. And so there's almost no delay, which is why it's real time. But in the case that you are, let's say, running a tournament, everyone's going to be playing the same song, and you want to display all the scores at the exact same time, you might want to switch this to song time. Song time waits until all of the players in the game room have started playing a song, and then it syncs all of the scores at the exact same time. So it looks like all of the players are playing the song at the exact same time, as if they were perhaps in person. But in reality, it's syncing those scores even though they might have already come in earlier. So this way, you'll see multiple players here, and they'll all have the exact same progress in the song, even though they might not actually have that in real life. And so that way you can compare the percentage score as well as all the judgment scores between players that way without any latency or anything like that. So that is an option for you there. And just another quick note of the players menu over here. A little crown means host. If I want to convert a player to a host, all I have to do is hit a little crown icon here. As you can see, made player host the game, and it says you are now the host of the game in the web view. And now I have control over all these options, and this player does not. And so as host, you can toggle spectators for anyone, make someone else the host, and also even kick people from the game room. So if I make them the host again, then I can kick this player 98, just like that. Kicks player from the game room, you've been kicked from the game room. And that's kind of the gist of everyone.dance. When there are new updates to everyone.dance, you'll see a little notification at the top, and you'll be able to update everyone.dance by just downloading the newest client from everyone.dance and then overriding your existing one. And that's pretty much it. So hope you have a fun time with this. Super easy to just create a game, give people the game code, hop into a game and play together. You can also change your name here. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, just hit that, change your name, step on it 3, boom. There's the name change. And yeah, so feel free to ask any questions on Discord or Twitter if you have any. So have fun.